Hello, everyone, and welcome to day 13 of the gratitude journey, where we focus on journaling, meditation, or breath work. We set an intention, learn about Ayurvedic, and just take some time for ourselves. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Today's focus is going to be about strength. Booyah! That's what I'm talking about. Meow, meow. Strength isn't all physical. It's emotional, it's mental, it's courageous. But you know, I had to throw my guns out there. So today's focus is that true gentleness is actually courageous humility. When I think about courage and courageous, it's somebody that is very humble, that lacks ego, and that has the mental fortitude to keep going despite anything that's going on, and can keep showing up with just kindness and love in their heart. And that to me is so strong. Somebody that when they're experiencing something can be vulnerable, that can apologize without being asked about something that they did, that their actions could ultimately affect somebody. You know, that's what I think about when I think about strength, is that I just think about, and that is able to be super vulnerable. And I know even for me, being vulnerable sometimes can be so hard. It can be so hard to be really raw and vulnerable and real because it's uncomfortable. It can feel unsafe. And I know the moments that I step into this power of being really truthful, being really honest, being really direct, being really vulnerable, being really real, is that I feel so powerful. I feel so strong. And so I encourage you, like when you think about strength, don't always think about like this physical strength, but think about this mental strength, this emotional strength. The journal prompt for today is, where can I soften? So for me, where can I soften? Where I can soften is that I tend to like things a certain way, and I want things done a certain way. Especially, this has always been super helpful in my businesses, is that this is the way things should be done, and this is the way they should be done. And that's it. And the reality is, not everybody thinks the way that I do. And I could enter that with a little bit more softness and realize that we're all really different, realize that not always being a perfectionist is needed. Most of the time it's not. And, you know, there's something little that happens at my shala. And there are spray bottles in the back room that we use to clean the mats when we're done, blocks, whatever. And then there's some water. Anyway, and these are not lined up. People just put them back wherever. And the towels, put them back wherever. And every day I was going in there, refolding all their little towels to make them face a certain way, to look a certain way, and putting the bottles facing the labels out. So everybody was at attention. And it brought me so much peace, just knowing that things were in order. And my teacher asked me, like, hey, why don't you try letting that go? And I said, huh? She's like, just don't worry about those bottles. Just release that. And I said, oh, I don't know about that. And I remember the first time I tried to do that, I was having trouble in my practice because all I was thinking about was those bottles need to be straightened. And I don't know how anybody in their right mind could live with that. And it's really just been teaching me to kind of let go, to kind of soften, and just be okay with things not having to be so perfect all the time. And I know a lot of this comes from my upbringing, comes from my military. And yes, it has helped me tremendously. And then there's other ways where I know that I can just kind of soften that and kind of let some of that stuff go and just be okay with things not being so perfect. Areas that I can soften is, just being really okay when somebody, because I know that we shouldn't have expectations, and guess what, I'm human, and sometimes I fall into that where I do have an expectation on someone, And then if they don't meet what I think the expectation should be, I get disappointed in that. And I could probably be hard on some people, or have been hard on people. And that is not my intention. And I don't think that that's the way that it should be. And I could soften on that, and soften and have more grace and more acceptance that we are all doing, just have more grace and acceptance that when people don't do things from my expectation and my point of view, I don't need to be so harsh in my response, whether it comes to businesses, clients, friendship, family, everything. I could soften in that. So what about you? What are some ways that you could soften? And definitely share. I would love to hear how. Another area that I could soften is that I could soften within myself. So often, I have like really high goals, and they're out here, and I won't achieve them even if it's for the day. And sometimes I'll get super distracted. Often I get super distracted, and I won't hit every single goal that I have for that day. And I really beat myself up about it. I really am like so disappointed I didn't hit those goals. And I could really soften. For how I approach myself in that, and give myself a lot more grace that I'm doing the best job that I can, and that it's okay. It's okay, and I'm going to do better the next day. I'm going to stay more focused the next day. So I could soften in the way that in the way that I treat myself when I'm not hitting those goals. Now we reach a gratitude, so let's go ahead and list 3 things that we're grateful for today. So the 3 things that I'm grateful for today. The first thing that I'm grateful for is that I'm grateful for the ability to travel. I love traveling so much. It is so near and dear to my heart, so much so that when I started my vlogging years ago, I called it Beyond a Trip. I even got a tattoo, Beyond a Trip, my first LLC, Beyond a Trip. And so there's nothing that I enjoy more than traveling. It's so in my heart. I see so many beautiful places. I learn about so many different cultures. I see what people's experiences are here in other countries. And from these experiences, I've been able to learn not only so much about myself, but just have such an appreciation for all that I do have. Definitely traveling outside of the United States has definitely made me really realize how much abundance that we have here in the States. And I realize how grateful I am to have been born here in the United States, and to be an American citizen, and to be able to be wealthy enough that I can leave my hometown, that I can get on a plane and fly out, that I can take time off and just go and travel. Like, so many people aren't afforded this one simple luxury of ever traveling in their whole entire life, let alone leaving the city that they were born, or the town or principal or whatever. And so I don't take that for granted, and I am so grateful for traveling. Second thing that I'm grateful for is I'm grateful for all my tattoos. They're all very meaningful to me. They all represent something that's really beautiful. This tattoo is actually from Thailand. It's like underwater. When I started scuba diving, of course I love turtles. This tattoo right here is an eye. That's just protection and being really present. And this one right here is your girl loves to talk. No surprise there. And I love to talk, and this was just a reminder to me, especially her hand is covering her mouth, to just shh and listen. Be more of an observer of the scenery. Be a better listener, really hold space for others. Don't just always talk. And also just my eyes are quiet, so that another thing is that I can be really present in the moment, in the here and in the now. this is so that I'm constantly working on myself. That's why it's not complete. Lotus flower. So when things come on me, I just let them all glide off, or at least I try to. Right, do my best job in doing that. And then the lips, you can't really see, but the lips are Angelina Jolie. I've always been so in love with Angelina Jolie ever since I was a kid. So those were her lips. I just always thought her lips were really beautiful. Of course, like I said, traveling is my favorite thing. So this is a map that I got in Thailand with like the old bamboo. Of course, beyond a trip, a compass related to the map. I love photography. I love shooting film, so that's where that is. The cross, this is actually something that me and a couple buddies got back when we got back from Iraq. We just didn't know how we made it back alive and safe and healthy. And so we all got a cross as freedom. I've got some other ones on my back, starfish on my foot. I actually have peace. I have happiness, love, and soldier in Chinese characters on my back. And then I have a sun and a moon. Your girl got a tramp stamp. Don't even need to see it, but it's there. And then I have an ocean wave that I got with Clarky when I got back from my second deployment. So shout out to you, Clarky. And so I'm just really grateful that I have these tattoos that I got from some really wonderful souls, gave them to me, and it's just like a way to express myself. I definitely want to get the rest of my arm done. I want to get a full back piece, and I want to get one full leg. So that's in the works. It's just honestly, I really don't want that knee pain, so I've been avoiding it, but I want to do this sleeve on my leg that's going to be like an entire travel theme from all the places that I've been to in this world. I think I've been to about 36 countries and counting now. And so from each place that I've been, I just want to do this travel theme. And then the third thing that I'm grateful for today is headstands. I love doing headstands, and it's crazy because I never thought I would be able to get up inside of a headstand, and then now I'm doing it. I try to do them everywhere. If you catch me on the beach at any time, I'm doing a headstand. Like, that's just, it's going to happen. And so, just anywhere I go, if I see grass, more than likely, I'm going to go do a headstand. If I don't see grass, I'm going to do a headstand. And so, it's just, I really love it. I really love how powerful I feel, how strong I feel, and then how much I can get into this like meditative state. And it's actually helped me with my migraines. And so anytime that I feel like, hey, it might be coming on, I just go into an inversion and just stay there for a while. It also helps with sinuses. So if you get migraines, sinus infections, just go, are you not feeling, just go stand upside down against a wall and just stay there for a while, and let me know if that works for you. So what are the 3 things that you're grateful for? Leave them in the comments. The action affirmation is, today I will respond but not react. Since somebody's just wah, 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 at you, blah, 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 blah. It could be a partner, a friend, a coworker, a boss, a client, whatever it may be. Somebody you don't even know. And instead of immediately just reacting to them without thinking, without feeling, without anything, and just saying whatever comes to your mind, reacting in a way that you have to look back on and go, God, I wish I wouldn't have reacted that way. Just take a breath. We're not going to react. We are not going to react to that. And we're going to take a moment. We're going to process all of this. And then when we have breathed in and we're ready, then we will respond to whatever this situation is, whatever this person is. And that way we can really move from like a gentleness, and really move from a really loving space rather than a reactive space. The Ayurvedic recipe for today is going to be rose and cardamom tea. Thank you for showing up for yourself today. And just remember that today is about gentleness. Today is about softness. It's about being soft to yourself. It's about being soft to others. And have such a beautiful and blessed day. And I will see you in day 14. Peace.